Shalom. Shalom and welcome. This is Man's Final Steps, a continuing series to those that will be among the ranks of the 144,000 and multitude mentioned in Revelation 7th and 14th chapters. Today is January 21st, 2014. And in this segment of Man's Final Steps, as I mentioned, this is a continuing series. It is entitled Living Guidance and Reactionary versus Reactionary Actions. Living Guidance versus Reactionary Actions. My name is Symmanayah, and again, I welcome you. My brothers and sisters, there's a huge difference between acknowledging and obeying living guidance versus reactionary actions. Reactionary actions will resemble delays in or being overtaken by unbelief, of which is not healthy naturally nor spiritually. Reactionary actions is only responding to various cues, stimuli, not being led by the Spirit of Yahusha, just reacting because of what you see and or hear or are influenced to do. Since the days of old, the Most High has always provided us with leadership, and so will we witness again. Leaders chosen by the Spirit of Yahusha will emerge, and we will witness living guidance from them as they are led by the Spirit of Yahusha. Allow me to read the following as I press forward with this segment. Ezekiel 33rd chapter verses 1 through 9, and it reads, And the word of Yahuwah came to me, saying, Son of man, speak to the children of your people, and you shall say to them, When I bring the sword upon a land, and the people of the land shall take a man from their borders, and shall make him their watchman. And he sees the sword coming upon the land, and shall blow the ram's horn, and shall warn the people. Then whoever shall hear the sound of the ram's horn, and shall not take warning, if the sword comes and takes him away, his blood is on his own head. He heard the sound of the ram's horn, but he did not take warning. His blood is on himself. But he who takes warning shall deliver his being. But if the watchman sees the sword coming and shall not blow the ram's horn, and the people shall not be warned, and the sword comes and takes any being from among them, he is taken away in his crookedness, and his blood I require at the watchman's hand. And you, son of man, I have made you a watchman for the house of Yasharal, and you shall hear a word from my mouth, and you shall warn them for me. When I say to the wrong, O wrong one, you shall certainly die, and you have not spoken to warn the wrong from his way, that wrong one shall die in his crookedness, and his blood I require at your hand. The 9th verse. I'm reading Ezekiel 33rd chapter, verses 1 through 9. The 9th verse reads, But when you have warned the wrong to turn from his ways, and he has not turned from his way, he shall die in his crookedness, but you have delivered your being. I ask you, my brothers and sisters, are there watchmen today? Are there individuals being used by the Spirit of Yahusha to provide living guidance? Or will we all find ourselves just reacting to what we see unfolding, disregarding and ignoring the signs of the times? Let me continue by reading Luke 21, verse 7 through 28. And it reads as follows, And they asked him, saying, Teacher, but when shall this be? And what is the sign when this is about to take place? And he said, See that you are not led astray. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am, and the time is near. Then do not go after them. But when you hear fightings and unrest, do not be alarmed, for these have to take place first, but the end is not immediately. Then he said to them, Nation shall rise against nation, and reign against reign. And there shall be great earthquakes in various places, and scarcities of food, and deadly diseases. And there shall be horrors, and great signs from the heaven. But before all this, they shall lay their hands on you and persecute you, delivering you up to the congregations and prisons, and be brought before sovereigns and rulers for my name's sake. And it shall turn out to you for a witness. Therefore resolve in your hearts not to premeditate on what to answer, for I shall give you a mouth and wisdom, which all your adversaries shall not be able to refute or resist. And you shall also be betrayed by parents and brothers and relatives and friends, and some of you shall be put to death. And you shall be hated by all because of my name. But not a hair of your head shall be lost at all. Possess your lives by your endurance. And when you see Jerusalem surrounded by armies, then know that its laying waste is near. Then let those in let those in Yehuda flee to the mountains. Let those who are in the midst of her go out, and let not those who are in the fields enter her. Because these are days of vengeance, to fill all that have been written. And woe to those who are pregnant, and to those who are nursing children in those days, for there shall be great distress in the earth, and wrath upon this people. And they shall fall by the edge of the sword, and be led away captive into all nations, and Jerusalem shall be trampled underfoot by the Gentiles, until times of the Gentiles are filled. And there shall be signs in the sun, the moon, and the stars, in the earth, anxiety of nations, and bewilderment at the roaring of the sea, and agitation, men fainting from fear, and the expectation of what is coming on the earth, for the powers, the heavens shall be shaken. And then they shall see the Son of Adam coming in a cloud with power and much esteem. And when these matters begin to take place, look up and lift up your heads, because your redemption draws near. My brothers and sisters, again I ask, do watchmen exist? Have we been given signs of the times for a reason, for a purpose? What are we doing to respond to the warnings, the living guidance, the instruction, the reproof given by the Spirit of Yahusha? Allow me to add Hebrews 11:1. And belief is the substance of what is expected, the proof of what is not seen. Hebrews 2:3. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, and it speaks of the end, and does not lie. If it lingers, wait for it, for it shall certainly come, and it shall not delay. What if, my brothers and sisters, what if Noah would have waited for the waters to come and reach 2 to 3 feet above ground before trying to build a gigantic ark? What do you think the outcome would have been? What if Lot would have waited until most of Sodom and Gomorrah was destroyed before realizing, the Almighty looked like He's getting ready to destroy the whole city. Let me see if I can find a way out of here and get out of here. What if that would have been the words of Lot? What if he would have waited till he realized the whole city was being destroyed before he began to move? What do you think would have been the outcome? Has times changed? Do we get instructions and guidance from a living Mashiach Messiah? I submit to you, we will be ordered to respond to His commands. There are watchmen among us. There are signs unfolding, and we will and are being required to respond accordingly. We are facing some complex times, my brothers and sisters, which require our eyes to be clear and our ears to be made open. It requires us to discern and understand what the Spirit of Yahusha is saying to us, as well as to the assemblies. My brothers and sisters, if we wait too long, we will find ourselves in the midst of massive crowds trying to seek out which directions to journey. For those who delay, much regret, heartache will be among their ranks. The 144,000 in multitude will be refined and is being perfected to respond. There will be humbling times, of which will produce an obedient assembly. Scriptures will be fulfilled regarding those who will be among the ranks, regarding those who will be gathered to return to a land that has been promised. Those who will be gathered before the return of our Mashiach. Will there be those chosen to be among the ranks of the 144,000 in multitude who will barely make it into the ranks? I believe so. I also believe there will be those who, because of unbelief and rebellion, will succumb or be overtaken and become entangled in chaotic crowds trying to discover where to go as well as what to do. Each of us every day face challenges and tough decisions. Yes, many have grown to ignore the call to be obedient and will receive their just rewards. As for you, as for me, as for those who will be among the ranks of the 144,000 in multitude, know this: we will discover our purpose and our call. We will respond to the voice and the orders and commands of the Spirit of Yahusha. We will be refined and come to experience righteous instructions, guidance, reproof, discipline, and right rulings. The wrath of the Almighty Father will be on the children of disobedience, and all obstacles will be laid waste that attempt to stop or interfere with the emerging plans of the Almighty Father, Yahuwah. Sooner or later, we will begin to witness forced transitions, as I have mentioned time and time again. It has already begun in some parts of California due to drought, severe water shortage. In due season, the subtleties will be magnified, and it will become obvious, and massive crowds will begin to gather and flee. Conditions in California, Australia, China, Japan, South America, the UK, India, Bangladesh, and many, many other locations have resulted with many people seeking to relocate, some totally unaware as to which direction to take. There will be those who will be among the ranks of the obedient, who will have ears and open eyes. They will witness proof of which direction to take. Yes, my brothers and sisters, not all will be reacting, for there is living guidance among us. Living guidance provided by the Spirit of Yahusha and those whom He has chosen to use to speak to us. Proof will come. It will come again, and it will come again. In the midst of humbling events, we will respond. We will discover obedience. Reactionary actions will produce masses of people running to and fro from many different directions, appearing to be lost in or looking for loved ones that are missed. In the midst of chaos, with reactionary actions will come disappointment, heartache, anger, and many, many diverse emotions will flare up. Can you imagine tens of millions of people trying to flee an area at the same time? Can you imagine that it is widely becoming, there are areas that are widely becoming uninhabitable for various reasons? Reasons such as lack of fresh water, no food, and/or catastrophic conditions like radioactive fallout from a compromised nuclear plant, or catastrophes such as a nuclear bomb. These and many things, lack of food, disease, pestilence, these and many things will be in the mix, as well as in the mix of chaos that is soon to enlarge. These things will fuel millions of people frantically trying to escape. My brothers and sisters, end-time prophecies foretell of a time of massive destruction and death. Will you be among the ranks of those guided to safety? It's time, my brothers and sisters. The time is at hand to embrace the true meaning of discernment, which means when the Spirit of Yahusha reveals, uncover, and make known. It's time to seek out understanding and respond with precision to living guidance. Unfortunately, there will be those left behind. There will be those who will be overtaken by unbelief. There will be many among the uncertain, and knowing who will meet such ends will come to be recognized. In other words, we will come to know who is left behind, who failed to respond to living guidance, who trusted more than anything, waiting to see it before they face and reacting. My brothers, it's time to understand what true living guidance is. It's time to prepare our minds, body, and soul for orders that are being given. It's time to prepare for transition. It's time to come to realize that there will be movement among the ranks of those who seek to worship and obey. There will be no excuses. It will be wise to realize we should not waste our breath by echoing excuses for being disobedient. These are man's final steps. There are no rewind buttons. The opportunity to do it over again will not be made available. The 144,000 in multitude are being refined and perfected. End time prophecies will be fulfilled, and we have entered into a season never before witnessed by man. What say you, Yasharal? Pray and prepare to choose either living instructions or falling victims to those who are among the ranks of individuals who exhibit reactionary actions. It's time, my brothers and sisters, to come away from disbelief and rebellion. It's time to come away from the strongholds that will slow you down and make you a sluggard. It's time to realize we are being energized by the Spirit of Yahusha to respond to His living guidance. Be encouraged, my brothers and sisters. This plan belongs to the Almighty Father Yahuwah, and it is His promises that will come to be. It is His word that will come to pass. It is His word alone that will make all things straight. Until next time, my brothers and sisters, my family, continue to press into the bosom of the Spirit of Yahusha, our Mashiach, our Messiah, and seek earnestly what must be done. Until next time, stay tuned as this series, Man's Final Steps, as it continues. Yes, my brothers and sisters, a complex journey that requires much improvement in our worship and in our obedience. And we will witness these things come to be among the ranks of those who would be among the 144,000 in multitude. Until next time, family, my brothers, my sisters, stay tuned as this series, Man's Final Steps, continues. Shalom, shalom, shalom.